Works this time. All right.
Excellent.
We're live. I
Yay.
can't believe it. All right. So we are here for another episode of our 10,000 live stream. And today we have two special guests along with the usual suspects. In addition to the usual team here, we've got Nick Sparks and Liz Klopp. So, hey guys.
Hi all.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome and thank you guys for being here today. We are super excited to have you guys on. To give everyone just a quick idea about what we're doing here, we talked about follow-up last week. We talked about ways to stay in communication with your past clients or your friends and family or people you'd like to work with that you haven't worked with yet. And so we thought it'd be really fun to kind of follow up last week's live stream with having two visitors today. So we have, I'll let you guys intro yourselves, but we have varying levels of experience here. So it's going to be kind of fun to see how these two are building their businesses, how they've done it, what their plans are, and we'll just kind of explore this topic a bit. So I guess, Nick, first, why don't we start with you real quick, Nick? Why don't you intro yourself, tell us what you've done, how long you've been in the business?
Yeah, so Nick Sparks. So I got my license September last year. So September 14th, I think is the exact day I got it. Joined 5-star right away. So I've only been in it just shy of 9 months.
Okay.
Prior to that, I spent 13 years in the car business. I was new car sales manager, did finance, and kind of transitioned into real estate last year. And since I started real estate, how I've kind of grown my business is basically just working, past clients from the auto industry, as well as my, local sphere of family and friends. And then I start branching out. The more I've gotten into this business and had these sales, I've been able to start asking referrals, and that's been really good for me. I'm heavily involved in my community. I do a lot of baseball, with the local baseball teams, and so I just kind of talk to all those guys and get my name out that way. So
one follow-up question, then we'll have Liz intro too. Real quick. So how many transactions have you pended and closed since September?
So I just closed number 14 and 15 yesterday. And then
What?
I have, yeah.
Who are you? Who are you? Kim, it's working. Kim, it's working.
Nice.
It's working. He's working.
So the
All
two
right.
people that you just saw, Kim and Doug, are the reason for that, right?
That's a
super
lot of credit, Nick.
I'm just gonna say that's exciting. Thank you for that. However, it's all you, man. It's all you.
All right,
And
well,
so-
we'll dive into this a little bit more too. All right, Liz, I would like to have you intro yourself too. So what did you do prior to this? How long you been in the business, and give us a quick just recap of your time here in real estate.
Yeah, of course.
Oh no, Liz, we froze.
Oh no.
Oh, please.
Hey Liz, you froze for a quick second. We've got to start over.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Can you see me now?
we can see you now. Yep.
Okay, sorry. Did not freeze on my end, so let me know. Sorry about that. But so I've been in the business since 2015, so just a little over 6 years. Before this, I did retail management. So got into it, and for me, it's been a slower build, so a little bit different than Nick. But my big thing has been getting involved in my community. And so I'm involved in various different things that really get me out of my comfort zone to meet people. So over time, it's just been, a lot of putting myself out there, meeting different people. Sometimes it's me going to events that I don't know anybody because I'm not originally from Grand Rapids either. So
Yeah,
I really had to start from square one for me.
Well, this is good. That's
yeah.
good to know. Okay.
Very
Yeah.
good.
And happy to answer any more questions as we go along and dive further into that too.
Great. So would you classify yourself as an introvert or extrovert, just out of curiosity?
So I'm right on the line, really.
Okay.
I think slightly more extroverted, but I do best like in small groups, one-on-one. But yeah, slightly more extroverted.
Okay. Nick, how about you?
My wife will tell you all day long that I'm an introvert.
Okay. Really?
And when I'm around certain people, I'm incredibly extroverted. you know, if there's similar personalities and stuff. Yeah, no, I like to be home a lot, and I like to do what I like, and
Yeah, but with what I know about Nick Sparks, very contagious. I mean, maybe it's a smaller group, but again, your energy level, man. I don't. That is so exciting to see, especially so early on.
Maybe it's in his name. I don't know. Just a thought.
Sparks, yeah, that's a good point.
There you go.
Okay, so I guess where I want to go from here is I want to know two things. One, Liz, you mentioned that you had a little bit slower start, and Nick, you're having a spark. You're like out of the gates, right? So I kind of want to dive into that a bit more, and so I guess real quick here, I want to jump in. I want to talk to Liz real quick on this. So Liz, what did you think can you give me why was it slow for you in the beginning, and has it picked up pace now? What changed in your world?
Yeah, so it has picked up pace. And really what changed in my world was when I first started real estate, you know, there was all these things telling me what I needed to do, how I needed to reach out, and always reminding people that I'm a realtor, like really just like it constantly on my mind. But quite frankly, that didn't work for me. It always felt like when I was in situations, I was thinking like, how can I, you know, let people know that I work in real estate? And it was when I sort of got rid of that thinking and just got comfortable with myself. So really what I needed to do was work on my confidence, especially meeting new people. And really, I started to just not even make it about real estate. I just made it about getting to know the person in front of me. And
awesome.
that's what I wanted. And that, I think, helped me develop meaningful relationships. So it's really important for me not to go in any situation or join any committee or boards or anything that I'm a part of and feel like I have an ulterior motive, like what can I get out of this?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was really just going in as genuine as possible, just meeting new people, talking about real estate as it comes up, but really I have other ways of reminding people that I'm a realtor, and really try to focus on them when I'm talking with them and meeting new people.
Yeah, that's something that I have struggled with as well when I was first in the business, was this idea of being like, feeling like you have to steer the conversation to real estate somehow. And like, it's this awkward, sort of like, how do I tell them I'm going to help them buy and sell a house? And it can feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So you felt like once you finally got a little more comfortable in your own skin, you felt like you had value. You didn't need to kind of like pitch it all the time. In your business increased.
Yeah. So one thing I really did to increase confidence too, for me, knowledge is power. So I just learned as much as I could about real estate, always learning and joining classes, continuing education, did the ninja course, and continue to do those every week and every day, of course. So I'm heavily involved in not only my community, but also different things to keep me educated.
Yeah. You're a member of GRARLA, right? Which is the local association leadership academy.
I am, yes. So I'm part of this year's GRARLA class. And yeah, things I do weekly. I also meet with a ninja group every Friday at 10 a.m. We go through, what the week looks like and sort of hold each other accountable. I also have a great group of real estate women, many other 5-star agents that we talk every day. So, I mean, when we have issues or when we have questions, we are in constant contact, which has been really, really helpful.
That's the second pitch today for education and classes.
Yeah.
So if anyone hears the word ninja and you have no idea what that means,
Yeah.
it's a perfect chance for you to reach out to Kim or Tracy. I think both of you guys have gone through ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Doug, I don't know if you ever have.
I have not. Yeah.
But it's a great class, and we're considering bringing it back in the fall. So again, if you're interested, like raise your hand, let us know. We need 50 people to get that class brought in. But Liz, you've taken it. It's an amazing way to live real estate, to do real estate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that she basically just said she doesn't work in a silo, right? it's not just me and my business. You talked about moving across and working together with other agents at the company, allowing other voices to be heard.
Yep.
And I think that's an important piece about what we do too, is like, I always say the 5-star family. And you just alluded to the fact that these people are your family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I heard you say the word stretch many times. So stretching yourselves to areas, to people. I mean, for an introvert or for an extrovert, I mean, that's a tough task sometimes, right? You go to places and you're like, ah, gosh, I don't know if I want to be here. It's a mind shift totally. And I get where you're coming from. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Nick, all right. I know we're all curious how in a few months you've done 15 transactions. So can you run us through what in the world did you do? I mean, like, did you just hammer the phones? Like, what did it look like?
Yeah, so 3 different things is really what brought me to this. First and foremost, when I got my license, I actually studied and passed in August. There was some delay before I got my license because some licensing issue was going on in Lansing. So during that month spread, I was on the phone talking to family and friends, already getting my business out there, letting them know I was getting into real estate and I was changing. So I was jumping in 2 feet before I even learned how to swim. And, so as soon as I got in, I already had a couple clients lined up. I had a buddy that was ready to list his house. I had a cousin that was getting ready to shop for houses. So I had those 2 already in line. So that way, when I got my license, I had clients. From there, obviously I was going to training with Kim every Tuesday, learning from her as far as how to, navigate selling a house or buying a house. And then I also met with Doug a couple times, just to, pick his brain. I think I talked about it last week or the week before on the stream about his phone calls in the morning. And I took it and I ran with it. So what I did is I grabbed my phone every morning from 9 till 10:30 and I would call. I'd start from letter A and work my way down. And I would call past clients in the car business that I sold vehicles from. And the best ones were the ones that would pick up and say, hey, Nick, so that, they already knew me and, they were friendly enough. And I never brought up real estate, right? It was always me just checking in. Hey guys, how are things going? I was just thinking about you the other day. And, we'd have all these conversations and inevitably it would always come back to, so how's the car business?
Yeah.
How are you doing? And it was like, oh, actually, I just changed. I'm doing real estate now, and I would get into that conversation, and they would ask me how it's going and everything like that. And what that did is actually ended up leading to 3 sales and 2 referrals. One is going live in July, brand new sale. So
Sweet. That's sweet.
yeah. So that's the thing. So I listened to my mentors, and took their advice to heart and followed it. I would always take, even when I was in the car business, I took what the seasoned vets and the most successful people did, and I tried to emulate it as much as possible and put my spin on it, right? Put my Nickism on it and try to make it work. And now I'm at a point, now I'm at a point where I'm moving along and I'm able to start asking for those referrals. I've always been a proponent of, I have to earn that right to get a referral. So at this point, I can ask my previous real estate clients, for referrals. And also, on the third note of that, I invested, right? I invested in lead sources, which has equated to half my sales now, to where I would get active buyers coming to me.
Which lead sources did you jump into?
So I had a couple that I started out with, Zillow and Bold Leads. And I dumped Bold Leads as quickly as possible.
Bold leads would do that.
Yeah, it was horrible. So Zillow has been fantastic for me. It's brought me a bunch of buyers. Some qualified, some not. Some are super active, some aren't. Some have led to high sales with listings, that follow up on it. So that's been fantastic. One is going live today. They were looking to buy property, and they were going to sell the house by themselves. But through conversations and the help I was doing there, they decided to list with me. So that's going live in about 2 hours. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath in report. So,
Congratulations.
Did you guys hear that? You better jump on it.
Right,
6
right.
acres. by
That
the
was
way.
a tip.
One
How
of the
much money do you
things that-
invest into those leads on a monthly basis?
On a monthly basis, how much money I invest into it?
Yeah.
So I'm up to, when I started, it was $500 a month. I am all the way up to 3,000 a month.
Okay, because you're
And-
seeing the value in it now, and you're like, okay, this is a.
It is well worth the money for me.
I had a. I have to give Tim Creech credit for this one. He was doing Zillow, and I said, so how is it going? He goes, I'll tell you what, Paul. If Zillow was a slot machine, I'd sit there all day.
Wow.
Ah, okay.
But
I just keep pulling because honestly, it does work, right? If you work the leads properly, the people who you do see people who don't want to do that follow up where Zillow won't work for them, because you really do have to nurture those things pretty
You have
significantly.
to live by your phone, right? Because they're what,
Yeah.
$200 a lead? You have
yeah,
to.
so you just pay per zip code. In fact, I just had a missed call from them, so I'm scratching myself for that.
This is costing them money, you guys. This is costing them money. What are you
You
doing?
could have taken it. We would have been fun to watch.
I could have done it live. I would have too.
Yes.
Okay, well that's awesome, Nick. I appreciate that. I think I want to steer this conversation a little bit to, I guess, toward not Nick. You kind of hit it on the head there with the things you were doing in calling, but I'm curious about you, Liz, too. Like, how do you keep your business going at this point? Is it sort of flowing naturally, or are there things that you do in your day with social media, with emails and phone calls and texts? Like, what does your strategy look like to keep this ball moving forward?
Yeah, so my business is pretty much 100% relying on referrals and people I know. So I've never done leads or anything like that, because I really always have just focused on, but again, it's a slower build, of course, to do it this way, but
Especially that being from this side of the state.
yeah, not being from around here, it's just, yeah, really getting to know people. I mean, in the beginning of my business, I also had a side business that helped me and kept me going. But at this point, now it's pretty much based entirely off of referrals, which is, I'm so grateful for too. But also what I do to remind people that I'm in real estate, because of course that is an important piece as well, but I'm invested into social media. So I do a lot on Instagram. I try and post on there a lot, try to make it fun and make it so people want to see what's going on. I think a lot of people have an interest in real estate and maybe have considered it at one point, or, I think they're intrigued by what it looks like. So sometimes I try to show a little behind the scenes and just kind of show my life on there. And, that's been getting me some leads too. I think.
And you've garnered a bit of attention from resources that have, I think, even called you one of the most influential real estate Instagrammers or social media presence in West Michigan. Was that right?
Yeah, I did make a list, I think, for like social
Congrats.
media. Yeah, thanks. That was a surprise, but yeah, that was
cool.
yeah, and it's fun.
Very
It's
cool.
something I enjoy doing. So yeah, I try to keep it light, try to keep it fun, and it kind of reminds people. So a lot of people that I've worked with in the past are on there, and I've even mentioned that I'm doing this right now, so it's just so showing a little bit of what we do.
And I think what's cool about that, I want to talk about social media real quick, just for a quick second. I'm not sure if anyone's aware of this, but they've done research and they've looked at different business sectors, different industries. The number one industry for social media usage, realtors. No other industry
Wow.
outposts realtors. Realtors post more than anyone else. When was the last time you saw your friend who does HVAC sales going, yep, another AC in, another furnace installed. Woo! I mean, you know what I mean? We don't do that. We don't see that. Realtors love this.
Yep.
So but I think what's important about what you just said, Liz, is that you're showing other things. You're pulling the curtain back a bit. You're having fun with it. You're contrasting yourself to what the rest of the industry is doing. So even though you might think that social media is super noisy and super loud, and how do you make a splash there, you're finding a way to make it different, which I think is awesome. And you're getting attention for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It was important to me to not just showcase just homes. You know, you want a little bit of a mixture of what a little bit about you too.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's great. That's great.
Okay. Tracy, Kim, Doug, what kind of
Thanks.
questions do you have for this gang? Sorry, Liz, you cut out for a split second there. So,
No, it's fine.
Well, I'd like to just mention one thing, that one of the things that Nick did with his follow-up and getting his business was he took his first 8 or 10 weeks and he invested. So he was in education every single day. He was in the Zoom, and he really took to heart so that he had the confidence to go out and write a contract. He would practice. He would do a listing, CMA. And you spent your first 10 weeks just diving in. And I really think education is so important so that you have the confidence when you get out there. I think sometimes we get held back because we're not out there when we're new asking for the business because we're really not sure how to manage it. We're not sure, like, what if I do get a contract? What am I going to write? What am I going to say? So talk about that a little bit, Nick. I know that you were faithful and then you were gone and you were on the run, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. So I remember when I first got in, yep, always on the class. I think I remember always getting on at least 5-10 minutes early.
Yep.
And just because I knew I was going to have questions for you, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to take away too much from class. But that was probably the most important thing for me, was to learn those, how to handle that sort of thing. And I remember the very first offer that I wrote that got accepted, which by the way fell through. But I remember it got accepted, and I told my wife, I was like, "Hey, I got my first sale." She was like, "Now what?" I was like, "Oh no, I got to call Kim." So, so I called Kim, and I remember even with that first offer, I wrote it and I sent it to Doug to review to make sure I did it right. And so I was heavily reliant on the support staff that we have, and but that was paramount for me to learn all that, as well as diving in and kind of learning as I went. I didn't want to wait to start showing houses or selling houses before I knew the business inside and out, right? I jumped in and I wanted to figure out as much as possible throughout. In fact, to that point, I remember I had a client that wanted to see one of Doug's listings. And let's say, I think it was a Zillow lead, and they contacted me on a Monday to go see it for Wednesday. I called Doug that day and I said, "Doug, would you mind showing me this house and how you show houses?" Right? I had no idea how to show a house, right? It was just, and so he came and met me at the house and walked me through on how to do it. And, that's how I learned. And I learned that it was fairly simple, right? It wasn't as scary as what I thought it was going to be, and I was very open with all my clients on how new I was, but the support staff that I had in my back pocket where I could rely on it. And there's still times where I call and I talked to, Don Phelan yesterday, because I had a serious question. I plan on calling Doug right after this because I had a question, so I always say use the support staff, because they are important. They are going to walk you through on how to navigate this crazy world that we live in. And I remember I was getting beat up. I kept losing offers, and I felt bad for my clients. And it was, I think it was a Monday night. I lost my 4th offer for these guys. And the next day was Tuesday. Got on the call with Kim, and I said, "Kim," I said, the listing agent telling me that I'm losing because the other offers were clean. I was like, "What the heck does that mean?" I was like, "It's a clean offer." And so she just sold a house, and she brought up her spreadsheet that showed the 6 different offers. And she walked me through on why each offer was different and what made one the best. So that was incredibly valuable to me.
And that's the thing I would say is what I hear you saying is you tapped into the knowledge of our support staff who has 20, 30, 40 years experience. And we're more than happy to share that with you. And I'm so glad to, that we're able to do that with you and help you be successful. But asking the question is key, right? Saying, "I need some help here. Tell me what you do."
Raise
Because
a
we're
hand,
always
right?
open. Huh?
I said, raise a hand, right? Your curiosity. But Nick, that's super encouraging for me to hear as well, because I was new. I mean, Liz has been new. We've all been new in this business at one point. And I think what we've tried to do here is we've tried to build what we call real-time support. That's kind of what we call it. It's just real-time support. So like when you can get help when you need it. Because, even as recently as yesterday, Don and I are on the phone talking about a problem, and I'm like, this is the way I understand it. And Don's like, that's what I understand too, but just wanted a second opinion. So even Don and I will call each other and get second opinions. I can get this entire team here. We're all like, hey, is this so? Yeah. We don't have all the answers, and even this many years into the business. So how could you expect a brand new person to?
Right.
And so that's what this is all about. It's all about this, this team of support that can come around you. Like you said, I wasn't going to wait until I had all the information to start selling. You had to start selling now because you were like leaving this job and going into this job. So you had no choice but to like dive in, So, and I will say, I do see a correlation between people who are willing to kind of get into the water before they know how to swim. I tend to see they become better swimmers, so to speak. That's my analogy is people who jump into real estate quicker and get their first deal under their belt very quickly will sometimes hit that stride where they realize, oh, I can do this. And there's a confidence level that all of a sudden comes along with that. And then their business will increase.
Kind of like baptism by fire, right? Just jump in. Just jump in, man.
They say.
Yeah.
Well, the other side of it is that you can be in all the classes you want, right? You can go to Kim's class and you can just stay in that class. Or you can jump in the pool and start swimming. So it's got to be a combination of both of those things. And I think, Liz, sounds like you kind of put yourself out there. You started building the social media thing. And then did your business kind of take off? Like you talked about this kind of shift in your mind that happened. Could you feel when you were shifting away from, hey, I'm a realtor, and to, hey, I'm Liz, I happen to be a realtor?
Yeah. Actually, it was with that exact mindset shift. It was just sort of something that I noticed, like, just really sort of diving a little deeper within of what's something's not working for me. Something doesn't feel right, and just, getting to know myself. The reason why I got into real estate in the first place was because I felt like something was missing for me. I was searching for a home, and I thought, there's just not much out there with like telling me, I feel like I have questions. I don't even know what to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So really it was just like diving deep into like, what do I feel the real estate needs more of? And then I'm attracting people that are like-minded like myself, who also want the same things, maybe want a certain type of realtor. So those are generally the people I tend to attract, which is more fun for me because we have a better understanding. It's a good teamwork, and it provides like better results oftentimes. So, that's it. It was really with that shift and mindset shift that helped me just naturally things came more naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things I heard Liz say too is she connected with other realtors, and that is so important. When I first started, I used to just sit at the office back in the day when we went to the office, right? And I would sit there and work, and I would we used to do tour. We used to tour houses every Tuesday from 9 to 11:30. And I would jump in the car with the most seasoned agent so I could just hear them talk, right? I wanted to know, like, what do you think about this price? And I would listen to all their little secrets. And then I would work from the office and I would ask questions, and I wouldn't just wear one person out. I'd walk up and down the hall. I had so many questions. Who was going to help me? So I think it's really important. Like right now in Kalamazoo, it's 10:30. They have a ninja group at 9:30, and that group keeps growing. Liz, I heard you say you're in one on Friday. And I think just having that group to bounce things off of and have the support, and especially during COVID, it's been kind of a lonely world. And there's a lot of knowledge out there. We have Connect, we have Facebook, Classroom Connect, we have the support team, but your fellow agents are really, really good to have alongside of you in this business. You can get a lot of tips there as well, and just support in general, right? The day where you're like, I'm never going to sell another house again. And there'll be one of your fellow realtors going, you got this, it's going to happen. So I think that's a really important part.
Yeah. And I remember, Liz, when you were saying knowledge is power, that is that mind shift, right? That's that mindset that you say, I'm going to learn as much as I can, as quickly as I can, from as many people as I can. So the idea of stretching and doing that, that is huge. So don't stop. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
So a couple of final questions here. Liz, then Nick. So Liz, part of your mental shift was moving away from the a lot of people telling you, yeah, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to basically feeling like there was a bunch of things you had to do and you had to spit it out all the time and you had to always be selling, always be selling, always be selling.
Yeah.
How do you manage your struggle, if there is one, of going, okay, so I'm 90% referral based. And like, if you hit a lull in your business where you're like, I don't have anything pending, that means I'm not getting paid for at least 30 days here. Do you ever hit a moment of anxiety there? How do you handle that? What do you do to try and kick things back up? If you do feel like you need to kick things back into gear, how do you push through those moments, or what would you do in those moments?
Yeah, I definitely feel that anxiety sometimes, and luckily it happens less and less, but really it kind of touch on Ninja a little bit here again too, but I'm big into the Ninja 9, how I structure my days. So I really love the certain parts of you know, a lot of the things they teach in there, which is, you know, writing letters to people, you know, past clients, making those phone calls. So I'm still doing all of those things. And like, I think Nick had mentioned this too, is that I don't even make it about real estate when I talk to him on the phone or calling people. I just want to catch up. And then real estate will naturally come into play. So really it's just, for me, structuring my business like a business, and also just you know, keeping in touch with people, especially through COVID. I think everybody is craving that connection. So it's really connecting with different people as well as other realtors and relying on them too.
Okay, I love that. And I just want to summarize what I heard. What I love about that is that some people might think that because you aren't quote unquote prospecting, that you aren't actively building your business, but that is the Ninja way. The Ninja way is you're always prospecting. It's happening all the time, right? The Ninja 9. So if you don't know what that is, guys, just Google Ninja selling the Ninja 9 and look at that list. So that's a really key thing, I think, because so if you're committed to that, then you're always prospecting. It's happening all the time. I mean, I use the word prospecting, but you're living in what they call the flow with your clients, right? You're in their lives, you're part of their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tend to just not even think of it that way, but that is what I'm doing. So, and I'll you know, if anyone's watching, but I'm on Instagram at Meet Liz, and I'll post the Ninja 9. I know they just posted something yesterday about it. So I'll put it in my stories.
Your Meet Liz?
Yep, meet.liz.
Meet.liz. All right, and we'll tag you. We'll put your handles in below as well. And then Nick, I kind of have the same question for you. Yours is a little different, right? Because you're at the very beginning of your career at this stage. So what does your day look like? What are you, I mean, your every single day, like how you're going to keep this thing going? What's the plan for you going forward?
Yeah, just keep attacking it. You know, I work my day through stages. First and foremost, I always want to make those calls. I don't schedule anything before 10:30 because I want to get those calls out of the way, and I know my day is going to blow up at some point. So I want to make sure I get those done. And then I just, you know, that's always going to be my follow-up, and I just kind of proceed throughout the day. But I'm always talking about real estate, always making sure that that's out there. Obviously, I take, you know, time away just to keep my mind fresh. But I'm always stressed, right? I'm always trying to figure it out. I have 6 more deals that are closing this month, and I'm still stressed out about, you know, what's going to be going on. Not stressed, but anxious for the next month. So I'm always trying to keep pressing forward, right? You know, I'm a big quote guy, and Walt Disney said, "Keep moving forward." So my mentality is, I just want to keep going forward. How can I keep pressing? And the way to do that is just getting better every single day, you know, 1% better. Can I always keep looking at the MLS, learning what's out there, seeing how, you know, FHA buyers are getting bought right now? You know, what's my strategy for them? Always following up. You know, I think something you said last week, Paul, is what Greg told you years ago, that if a client has to call you, you failed. You didn't do your job right. So I always want to be the first one to talk to them. You know, I want to earn the right to ask for those referrals. I want to make sure I'm, you know, maybe practicing, you know, more on how I talk to people. I deal with a lot of first-time home buyers, and I want them to feel comfortable with me. Because I had one last night, and I said, what questions do you have? And they said, I don't know. So my thing with them is I want to tell you the questions that you want to ask. Here's what you need to know. And so it's very important for me to relay that to them. I always go back to my past experiences in life. And the big one was when I got my first house, and I remember feeling just general about it. I had a real estate agent that showed me one house, had my offer accepted, got my earnest deposit. Last I saw of them till closing day.
Yeah.
And I remember, and it's the smallest thing in the world for a lot of people, but I took it as my biggest learning curve when I got into real estate is when he told me that I got my house, I wasn't sure I got it, right? He called up, hey, Nick, yeah, so they like the offer. They want to keep a cabinet above a toilet. And I said, okay. He said, all right, I'll send the paperwork over to you. And I was like, and so
You're like, I feel like I should be celebrating right now. Should I pop?
exactly. So I take that seriously, right? I want people jumping up for joy, tears rolling down their face that they got their house. It's such a big moment in their life that I want them to be excited, and I want them to know that I was always with them. And that really goes to heart for me is I want these people super excited that they just got their dream house, their first house, whatever it is. So that's kind of what my mentality is. And I just want to always be improving on that. I feel like I have, a duty to them and a responsibility to them if they're going to spend, at least rely on me to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars of their money. I have a duty to, show them the right way and help them out as much as possible. So I think I got off topic there.
No, guys, you both did a fantastic job presenting so much good information today. I mean, this is full of so many good nuggets here that anyone starting in the business should listen to this. And and especially we have a brand new agent, and we've got Liz who came from the other side of the state who built this thing from nothing over here. So these are beautiful stories, and I think there's so many good lessons here. So I thank you guys, and I know the team here
Thank you.
appreciates it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was great. So do we have any other questions, or should we're at our 35-minute mark here. So
I just want to say good job to both of you. And we're so glad to be a part of your success and glad to hear the good stories. And we appreciate everything that you're doing. And we realize it's not easy being in this business. And you're great examples for agents that come alongside you. So thank you.
Thank you.
thank you both for your time. This is awesome. So, all right, I guess this will wrap it up for us.
All right. See you
Thank
guys.
everyone.
Thanks, Liz.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Good luck.
See you,
Have a
Dan.
great week.
All right.
Adios. If I can close it down. There we go.